HR is not your friend. I know that sounds harsh, but the moment you forget it, you put your career at risk. HR exists to protect the company, not you, and everything you say to them, everything can and will be used to make decisions about your future there. So before you walk into that office or send that email or have that quick chat in the hallway, you need to know exactly what not to say. Because some of these phrases sound completely harmless, normal even, but they have cost real people their promotions, their projects, and their jobs. Here are 7 things you should never say to HR, and I mean never. Number 1, I don't get along with my boss. This one feels like the most natural thing to say. You're frustrated, you want help, you go to HR. But here's what actually happens. They document it, they look at both sides, and more often than not, you come out looking like the difficult one. Vague complaints about personality clashes don't help you. They just paint you as someone who can't work with others. If there is a real problem, and sometimes there is, bring specifics, missed deadlines, dropped communication, behaviors that are affecting your ability to do your job. That is a professional complaint. HR can work with that. We just don't vibe is not a professional complaint. That's a liability for you. Number 2, I'm only here for the money. Everyone works for money. That is not a secret, but saying it out loud, that is a different thing entirely. HR is always assessing cultural fit, engagement, long-term potential. When you tell them you have zero emotional investment in the work, they start thinking of you as replaceable, and replaceable people are the first ones gone. You don't have to pretend you love every minute of your job, but keep your cynicism to yourself. What you say to HR shapes how they see you on paper. Number 3, my side hustle takes up a lot of my time. This feels innocent. You're proud of what you're building outside of work, but mentioning it to HR is a mistake, especially if it's in a similar industry to your current role. It triggers 2 things immediately. First, conflict of interest concerns. Second, every single time your performance dips, even slightly, they will blame the side hustle. You've handed them a ready-made excuse to doubt you. Keep your outside projects outside. They do not need to know. Number 4, I probably shouldn't be telling you this, but stop right there. Anything that starts with that sentence should never leave your mouth in an HR conversation. Ever. HR is a formal channel. That friendly tone, that open door policy, that come talk to me anytime energy is professional, not personal. Everything you say is likely being documented. Everything. Office gossip, drama, rumors, none of it helps you. All of it damages your reputation for being discreet, and discretion is a career asset most people underestimate until it's gone. Number 5, my last company was a disaster. I get it, maybe it was. Maybe your old boss was a nightmare and the culture was toxic, and you are genuinely relieved to be out of there. But speaking badly about a former employer is one of the fastest ways to raise red flags. Here is what HR hears when you say this. This person will talk about us the same way someday, and they're not wrong to think that. It also makes them wonder whether you were part of the problem. Whatever happened at your last job, keep it professional. You learned a lot. You're glad to be somewhere new. Full stop. Number 6, I'm going through a really messy divorce. Personal struggles are real. Life gets hard, and sometimes you do need to let HR know that you're dealing with something, especially if you need time off. But there is a line between I have some personal matters I'm handling and oversharing the details of a legal battle, a breakdown, a family crisis. The moment you cross that line, HR starts labeling you distracted, high-risk, burnout candidate. It's not fair, but it happens. Protect yourself. Keep personal details minimal. What HR doesn't know, they cannot use against you. Number 7, this is off the record. It is not. Nothing in a professional setting is off the record, not with HR, not ever. HR professionals have legal and policy obligations. If you disclose something that involves harassment, a safety issue, or potential legal exposure for the company, they are required to act on it, regardless of what you ask them to keep private. There is no off the record. There's only what you choose to say and what you choose to keep to yourself. Here's your takeaway. HR is a professional resource. Use it that way. When you have a documented, specific, work-related concern, bring it. That is what they are there for. But the casual chats, the venting, the oversharing, that is not what HR is for. And mistaking them for a confidant is one of the most common career mistakes smart women make. Know the difference, protect your information, and walk into every HR conversation knowing exactly what you're there for. Your career will thank you for it.